Hey everyone, and welcome in or welcome back. It's a MonkieMar. Before we get into today's video, please make sure you click the like, the subscribe, and the bell for notifications.
Hello? Hi, I'm sorry. My name is James Terry. I'm a private investigator. You guys contacted me on another number of mine out of Florida, an 813 area code. Oh, yes. I'm sorry to call you from a different number. This is actually my personal cell phone number, and I don't do much texting, and I was a little bit confused, and you got to understand, I am getting hundreds, if not thousands, of texts, emails, phone calls, and everything, and I'm not technically even working on the case anymore. So whom am I speaking with? Now, Justin, and you got to forgive me here, Justin, because I'm taking notes on this thing still. Justin is the father. He did not hire me. Neither did the ex-wife. I was hired by Justin's sister, technically, was paid by her, and I was hired technically by his parents. Okay. Does that make sense? Yes. Yep. So I do. I work with him through J Transport in Rigby. And what is J Transport? We're just a trucking company, so Justin has 7 trucks that are contracted on with us. Okay. And so yeah. What is it like working for this company where this kid's disappearing and it's his son? And I mean, I can't tell you the phone calls I've gotten on Justin and his family just in the last 8 hours. Everything from he's an absolute asshole that beats on his employees and his ex-wife to they're drug dealers to that they owe millions of dollars to people all over the country. There's liens all over the place. Did you know that the mom has millions of dollars worth of liens on her? So I didn't. I actually don't know Candace. I started working with him about 4 years ago, so I've never met her since she has up and left the family. All I know about her What do you mean up and left the family? What does that mean? So when they were married, let's see, so this had to have been like 7 or 8 years ago. She ended up just packing up and leaving, left the family, left the kids, left Justin without a word, did no contact with them for 3 years. And then she reached back out to Justin after 3 years and was saying, she wanted to see the kids and everything. Were they, because I don't know the family that intimately, how many siblings does Justin even have? Not Justin. I'm sorry, Dylan. How many siblings does Dylan have? How many kids does Justin and Candace have together? So I believe 2 others. A boy who is like 14 and then a girl who is 16. But I thought they were divorced, and I'm trying to get this straight because there's so many misconceptions about this. I thought that the wife and Justin, I thought Candace and Justin had been divorced for like 12 years. She up and left the family 3 years ago, but they were already divorced, right? Yes. So this happened before they got divorced. She up and left them. She left them 15 years ago? I'm not exactly sure when. From one of my coworkers, I guess it could have been longer than that because she started 7 years ago with this company, 7 or 8 years ago with this company. So I guess at that point she had already been gone the 3 years. So she left the family while they were still married and bailed on her 3 kids? Yes. And for why? 3 years, no contact. Drug problem or what? The guy? I'm not exactly sure. But I can definitely tell you, Justin does not do any drugs or anything. I've never known him to be physical. He's actually one of the most calm people I've ever met, and it takes a lot to actually set him, through the roof. Are you dating him? Is he your boyfriend or something? Oh, no. Okay. So I just work with him closely. I'm shocked. I didn't know that she abandoned her 3 kids for over 3 years. So she disappeared. And was she a missing persons? She wasn't. Nope. And then she just shows back up one day? Yeah. So she contacted Justin and eventually said that she wanted to, try to get back in contact with the kids. But of course, at that point, they wanted nothing to do with her. So, the kids have lived with Justin this whole entire time, and he was so distraught when she came back in because he didn't want to damage his kids any further.
When did she come back
Damage?
Oh, this was probably, it was around 7 or 8 years ago. When
Okay, so the kids are already old enough, and she comes back in. Wow. So go ahead. So tell me about the dynamic of this. I'm confused. So Justin's a good guy, and I don't know him that well. Like I said, I wasn't hired by him, but I didn't realize she was. I didn't realize that was the deal with her. That's incredible.
Yeah. So she.
Well, now she's
I haven't heard good things about her.
Well, what else have you heard? What else have you heard? Because she's the forefront of this whole thing. I'm trying to understand her, and I can't. For nothing else, because I'm between cases.
Right. And honestly, I don't know much more than that. I've just heard, she's crazy. Like, Justin doesn't like to deal with her. The kids don't really like to deal with her. That's really all I've heard about it. I don't get into too much detail with them about that.
What made you reach out to me?
So actually at work today, we were watching your YouTube video. So we saw the one that Candace posted of their conversation with you. And then we saw yours that you did with those two ladies. I'm so sorry, I can't even remember who they are.
Yeah, I know who you're speaking. Yeah, that was late last night. Actually, probably in the next 18 minutes, Candace Cooley is going on live on a friend of mine's show, and they're going to ask her if I could. It's called Zav Girl. It's a very popular show on the internet. I don't know much about these programs. I don't do a hell of a lot of them. She's going on the show, and they have told her that they're going to tell her they want me to come on live with her. If she does not want to do that, they're going to ask her some pretty tough questions, but then I'm going to get to rebuttal. I warned the family last night to just leave me alone, but how they did things is quite bizarre. But I've been called by people just like you from their communities and from their businesses, more on the mom side, that said, this is terrible what happened to this kid, but we're not surprised. We knew that, listen, they fought with law enforcement. They fought with the townspeople. They fought with a private investigator. They have fought with a third of the people already, and they've only been out there 3 weeks. So people have called me. One person even called and said she wasn't even that close to her son, which is why I'm fascinated by what you're saying, because it lends some credibility to it. But basically what they said is, before this is all over with, this woman, Candace Cooley, will fight with everybody, and everybody will be on the outs with her. I'm just the beginning.
Yes. I definitely see that. We were talking about it at work, and just being mothers ourselves, we don't understand why she is doing this. We would want any piece of information we could possibly get, whether we wanted to hear it or not, just for the sake of finding our child. So we're having a hard time fathoming her, and not crying a tear, nothing. When they went out to the search parties, she's focused on making spreadsheets to, say that, okay, we covered this ground, now we got to check this area, to make sure nothing happened. But, everybody I've spoken to who has seen her just says there's not really any emotion there.
Yeah, and I got some shit for saying the same thing that you did. A lot of mothers have called me. She's a good-looking lady, though, or probably was. She's tiny. She's got that top-of-the-pyramid cheerleader look, even at the age of 41. What's her background? Do you know anything about her?
I don't.
Anybody that you know would? I want the dirt. I think, was she a prostitute? Yes, was she when you disappear on your kids for 3 years, you're not doing anything good.
Right. No, definitely not. So I'm not sure what she's up to. I know people who know the actual, details of it, but I'm going to be honest with you, I am just so scared about even talking to you right now, because I don't want to lose my job. Overstepping my bounds.
I understand. No, I'm glad you reached out to me. I'm just not a big texting person. But did the office appoint you to call me, or you were just that curious about it?
No, I just, I have this gut, or this feeling in my gut where I don't know. Something's not right.
I'm with you.
And I don't think Justin I think he's honestly just trying to keep it together the best he can right now for his other children and whatnot. And running his farm and his trucking business, he's just got so much on him right now that I think he's trying to just go along with Candace to not cause any problems right now between them and make this harder.
That's why I became the scapegoat. What does the office at his business think of this? What is their? I mean, they know him personally. I don't. I wasn't even hired by him.
Yeah.
What is their consensus? What do they think happened? Because I'm telling you, everybody in that town calls me and says this kid was having a gay relationship with a 59-year-old guy. I had 2 gay people in that town call me and say the pain in this kid's eyes was just incredible. Not to have a boyfriend, there's not one high school friend. There's not one high school girl. Where is everybody? So what are they saying about all that in his office?
It's real devastating, of course, that all of this is happening, and it's been tremendously emotional at work. And, just trying to stay focused and not, think about all of this all the time. So to be honest, they were not sharing any of that information about him possibly being gay with this man.
Does it shock you?
Until we saw this video.
Does it shock you?
Not really. I mean, I honestly didn't know Dylan, but just from things being, hearsay around work about what's going on, we all kind of gathered that was probably what was happening, but nobody wanted to be the one to say it, really, and we're not. I mean, it does make sense in a way, and I don't know if this man was grooming him or whatnot, or manipulating his hurt and his pain, because he does have daddy issues and he has mommy issues. And, they're both completely different scenarios and circumstances.
Why does he have daddy issues? What happened with daddy? I mean, daddy pretty much raised him, it sounds like.
He did. So when Dylan was 16, he wanted to drop out of high school.
The mother told me about this a little bit, but go ahead. I want to hear this.
Yeah. So Dylan told him that he wanted to drop out of high school because there's no point in doing any of this. He just wants to farm. That's all he wants to do. He wants to get his own farm, get up and going. He doesn't want to waste his time at school. And, Justin wasn't having that. That made him super angry. And then Justin's dad stepped in and went behind Justin's back, took a mortgage out on his own house, and then on the farm, on Justin's farm, without Justin knowing. So took loans out of those to buy this land in Lucin for Dylan. And then when JR found out, of course, he is just, I feel like any parent would be just absolutely, completely angered by this, because
That explains why the father went up one side of the grandfather and down the other. The grandfather, by the way, Justin is adopted, is he not?
Well, honestly, I don't know.
Because his sister,
hold on.
is because she was able to track down her biological parents. Plus I think these people might be Mormon, which the whole gay thing is, is what it is, but, that might have a little bit of an issue. I mean, I don't know. So what has the father said? Does the father now told his office, hey guys, listen, my son may be gay, or do they still deny it?
No, so actually none of us have seen Justin. The only person who has is my actual boss and his wife, and then, the people who went out and helped with some of the search parties they had. But when he comes into town, I mean, none of us see him. I haven't seen him for weeks, even before this happened. So this is all, he's like best friends with my directors. So this is coming from a very close source. But no, and all that they told me was that, there's information that is going to hurt Justin when it comes out, and I guess that this was it.
Who said that?
My boss said that. Mm-hmm.
The father said that there'll be news that'll come out because he knew what I was already saying?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, he did know. because they have sat in on some, so they got to listen to the recordings through, that some of the police had with the people in the community and whatnot. So they know quite a bit more information than I know.
Hold on. The police recorded interviews in town, and people in town have told the police, and the police have recorded those interviews that what? What are they saying on the recordings?
I'm not sure. That's what they wouldn't disclose to us. They just said that whenever this information comes out, just love him through it. Which, none of us are homophobic or anything. Like, we don't care if he was gay. We're just, we just want to find him. We don't care.
So the police, wait, take me through this again. I'm so lost. The best friend, what's this guy's name?
Yes. So
and the police called him and said there's going to be some information coming out that's going to hurt Justin, but they didn't tell Justin first?
No. So his wife were with Justin and Candace when they were listening to recordings with the police there in Lucin.
Oh, wow. And what did the recordings say? Pretty much what I said.
Pretty much what you said, yeah. Yeah, they haven't told us anything else. They haven't told us exactly what they heard in those. They said that right now they're just trying to respect Justin in this and, not tell anybody. But the real reason they didn't want to tell anybody is because Kurt has family out here who has been texting Justin's teenage daughter and Justin himself, not necessarily threatening them, but saying things like, we know where you live. They're just trying to get them to tell them any information that they may have along to Kurt so he can, I guess try to read
that.
Kurt is contacting Justin's teenage daughter?
Kurt's family that lives in Rigby.
And what do they know about him being gay? About Kurt being gay, dressing up as drag, all that shit I released?
I'm not sure. I honestly don't know who they are. It is kind of a small community, but if I had direct names of who they were, maybe I could.
Tell me about the meth stuff. What do you think Kurt's into there?
So, on a couple of the searches they had done, they had found, handfuls of abandoned meth labs. And they had one gal who, in the community, I don't know her name, but she wanted to talk to Candace alone, made her go to this casino that she goes to every Monday at the same time, so she wouldn't, these people wouldn't be looking for her, know that she's telling them information. And then she told Candace, she's like, I'm going to sit at this slot, you're going to sit next to me, you're going to download the WhatsApp so we can talk discreetly, it can't be tracked or anything. And she's like, I'm not going to talk to you, you're not going to talk to me in person, we're just going to text through this app, and I will tell you some information.
And what's the info? And so you're telling me these people in town got a hold of Candace Cooley, had her go to a casino so they can do a text app with her to tell her what? What did they tell? And who are these people?
So it was just one lady, and I'm not sure her name. I just know that she used to work for Kurt. But the information she gave Candace was that Kurt has these bunkers out in Lucin, and she's like, you wouldn't even know that they were there. She's like, you could walk right over it, you would have no idea, And so she says, I only know they're there because I worked for him and I had brought food down into those bunkers before. So she gave Candace the coordinates to the bunker. Well, the cops didn't do anything with this information until a week later. And then finally the FBI came in, they went and searched the bunkers, and luckily...
So the bunkers exist?
They do exist, yes.
And what did they find in the bunkers? They can't find nothing.
So, to the knowledge that I know, they found nothing. They said that it looked like nobody had been in there for years, but, I don't really believe that. I'm not getting all the information either.
What's the casino that Candace Cooley goes to every Monday?
on speaker and I can look at
I would like to know that, yeah, because I gotta make a phone call here at 10 o'clock Eastern. I want to talk to you again, but and you can have anybody you want call me. This is extremely interesting. So you know, and the people at Justin's work know that I'm not full of shit, that I'm not barking up the wrong tree, that I'm not making this stuff up. What?
Yes.
So the people at Justin's work listen to me and believe me?
100%. My boss, the one who is, friends with Justin, he even believes you. We were listening to the YouTube stuff at work today, and I was the first person to be like, Candace needs to shut the fuck up and, take this guy's help. And then everybody else was like, yeah, you're right. Like, I wanted to say that, but, didn't want to be the first person. But me, I'm not scared to, let them know.
Oh, my God. Unfucking believable. Absolutely unbelievable. What do you think happened to this kid? What is the consensus at Justin's work at his trucking company? What do they think happened? This has got to be the talk all day.
We really think that we don't exactly know for sure. There's a couple of theories that we have, but they all involve Kurt. It always comes back to Kurt or Dawn. Dawn has been a little bit in question, but I don't think Justin wants to go there or, maybe admit the feelings that Dawn may be involved. I'm not sure.
So why shit all over me? And publicly, I've been paid in full. That you can't fire a guy that's been paid in full. So why shit all over me? And what does Justin believe? Justin's never said a bad word to me. So do you think Justin believed me? Maybe Justin didn't like me. I don't know.
I think he did like you. I think this is all stemming from Candace, if I'm being completely honest. She's a control freak is also something I've heard. And Justin, I don't think, is mentally in a place where he has the energy to even fight her right now. I think he's
She said a mouthful.
Where's her parents? Where's the grandparents?
Yeah, where's the other grandparents? Good question, Jim. This PI's on his shit, isn't he?
I'm not sure. I only know Justin, and I worked with his mom, Karen, a little bit. I've never spoken to his dad. And with Karen, it was over email or over the phone about the trucking business is all. So I don't really know them personally. This is all just everything that has been told to me, through these people who are very, very close with their family.
Unbelievable.
The other thing as well that I wanted to tell you, because I did see at the end of your video that you said you weren't sure if Dylan had cash on him. So I just want to inform you that a lot of the people in the community said that they only carry cash because, there's not really a bank around. So Dylan would go around from farm to farm helping these people out, and they would always pay him in cash. So he had, at the time that he was gone, he had $30,000 cash. And about a week or 2 weeks prior to his disappearance, his grandpa had just given him a $50,000 loan for his farm. And he was bragging about it at this bar in Montella.
There's people out there that don't see $80,000 in 20 years.
Right. So I don't know if it was 80 completely or if it was he had already bought a piece of equipment and spent $20,000, and then had 30 left. I'm not exactly sure, but he definitely had $30,000 on him when he was gone.
Going into the saddle store bragging about it. That can't go wrong.
What does Justin think happened to his son?
He's really thinking that it was Kurt, that either they found out that he had the money and just wanted it, needed to get rid of him because he knew too much information about what was going on, or, there have just been so many different things going around. I'm not exactly sure where JR stands right at this point.
And what is Justin's the business that you work for? I'm confused. I thought they owned cow farms and all this stuff. What is the business that you worked for the last 7 years? It's a trucking company?
So I've been there for 4 years, and it's called J Transport. Jordan J is the one who owns it.
I'm going to be applying for a job there tomorrow.
Has 7 of his own trucks. His company is called, and they are contracted on with us. So we basically treat their trucks like their employees. You know, we get them loads every single week. We're the only ones that they work for. I specifically handle the rounds, if the taxes, you know, their mile and gas.
Where can I send my resume, honey?
Permits. I mean, I do.
So you're not just some lady that parks cars there and makes coffee. You have a pretty high up. That's a shame that everybody thinks that privately about me, and that they were kind of Team Terry, and I'm getting tore down. Well, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for calling and shooting me straight. If anything else comes up, you let me know.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, God bless.